everybody, my name is Bao and today I'm going to tell you about Thurgood Marshall. Hold up please, because I need this. Okay, I got security on my computer, so that's fine. Thurgood Marshall. Thurgood Marshall. Wow, this man looks familiar, but it doesn't, because I only heard him now. Thurgood Marshall was born in 1908 in Baltimore, Maryland. He was an African American, and his grandfather had once become an enslaved person. I think that means his grandfather was a slave. So that's not good in those years. Those years slavery was nearly dead, or yeah. By the time Thurgood was born, slavery was against the law after the U.S. Civil War. So that's good. Even so, when Thurgood was a child, the South was still segregated. Okay, so the South was still a bit angry about, yeah. Black people were not allowed to eat in many restaurants that served white people. Black people were not allowed to sit in the same train cars as white. So I want to tell you this, because this was nonsense. Who knows about after the law slavery was against, but even though slavery was against, there are still many laws of the South that still aren't fair to all black people. Those laws were unfair, you know. At the dinner table, Thurgood's family used to argue about what to do about those laws. Thurgood became very good at arguing. Okay, so this Thurgood. Okay, Thurgood's parents named it Thurgood, the rough good. He showed to Thurgood in second grade. His nickname was Goody. That's a funny name, you know. After graduating from Lincoln University, an all-black college, Marshall wanted to go to the University of Maryland Law School because he was a black, and the school, but because he was a black, and the school would not let him in. Instead, he went to the all-black law school at Howard University. Oh, I hadn't heard this university. In 1933, he graduated in his first class and became a lawyer. Wow, you're like Lincoln. Lincoln was a lawyer too, but a much different way. And what do you mean by 1933? Oh, so that means it's after World War I. That's good a bit. But be careful for 6 years more. In 1936, he won his first big victory for civil rights. It was against the University of Maryland Law School, the same school he tried to attend. Another black student was not allowed into the school because of his skin color. That student took the school to court, saying that keeping black people out of school was illegal. Marshall argued the case and won. Wow. Since he was good at arguing, he managed to do it. Maryland went on to argue many cases before the Supreme Court, the most important court in the United States. Marshall argued a case about neighborhoods. He said that people of other races should be allowed to buy homes in white neighborhoods. Marshall argued another case about segregation on buses and trains. He said black people and white people should be able to ride together. Marshall won these and many other cases for civil rights. In 1954, whoa, there's one more year before the Vietnam War. You know, the U.S. did enter the Vietnam War a few years later. What? In 1954, Marshall argued his most important case of all. In some states, black children had to go to all black schools. Their parents thought this was wrong. Marshall argued that it was unfair to have separate schools for black and white children. Separate schools were not equal, he argued. Instead, children of all races had to be able to attend the same public school. Once again, Marshall won his case. Every justice on the Supreme Court voted to end segregation in public schools. The case inspired the civil rights movement and made Marshall famous. In all, Marshall argued about 32 cases before the Supreme Court and won 29 of them. But wait, 32 and 29? Strange. Now what about the three? What about the three cases? In 1965, he became the first black lawyer to argue cases with the U.S. government before the Supreme Court. 2 years later, the president chose Marshall to become the first black justice on the Supreme Court. Wow. Who is on the Supreme Court? Oh, so this was a black man, you know. Marshall still got to argue a lot. Whoa, maybe he had argued for the rest of his life. And he always argued to make things fair. He upheld the rights of children, women, homeless people, and people in prison. Marshall served on the Supreme Court for 24 years, 1991. Whoa, waiting for the end of the Cold War. He retired. At the time, reporters asked him if black people were better off than when he joined the court. All Americans are better off since I joined the court. Marshall said, all of them. He died 2 years later. Marshall was a powerful voice for the civil rights and a hero for everyone who believed in equality. Goodbye.